Hi, everybody. Matt Bernier, joined by Woodbine analyst Jeff Bratt, taking a look at the Woodbine play of the day for Friday, May the 4th, race number 7, a maiden special weight race on the main track, a mile and 16th, 3-year-olds and up. Jeff, there's one horse in here I think most people are going to be taking a look at, and that's a horse called Strike Me Down for Graham Motion. We're going to take a look right now at the last race of his 2-year-old campaign in the Cup and Saucer on turf. Overall thoughts on this horse, because on paper he looks like he could be very tough.
He's still a green horse, I would say, at this point, Matt. He's been ranking both of his starts at this point early on in his races. I like the fact that now he's coming off a bit of a layoff. He gets Lasix for the very first time, too. Obviously, Graham Motion has got a big race with this horse on his schedule, and that would be the Queen's Plate if he's able to make it to that point. This is a big race for him coming up on Friday. He's a horse that gave Dixie Moon, a filly, everything she could handle in the Cup and Saucer. They were about 2.5 lengths clear of Rose's Vision, who's a pretty good horse as well, finishing in the third place spot. But obviously, you'd like to see this horse be a little bit more relaxed early on in the race. And surface-wise, this is a big test because I know the horse trains on this on a fairly regular basis, but every synthetic track is a little bit different and has to prove that he can handle this surface because he is a 3-year-old Canadian bred, and there's $1 million race on the horizon at the end of June. So this is a huge race for him. He cannot miss any time at this point, and he has to show that he can handle this surface. So I think he's going to be primed for a peak effort coming up on Friday.
You know, and you bring up an important point. Just because the synthetic and the turf are more similar maybe than the turf to the dirt sort of move, there's no guarantee that one is going to translate to the other. We know this horse is good on turf. We'll find out if he can transfer it over the synthetic. There are a number of nice pedigrees in this spot. Are you willing to take a shot against Strike Me Down, or is that where you're going to go?
I'm going to pick him in this spot, but I'll tell you, Matt, one horse that I think is flying under the radar somewhat in here, and this is Silent Jet, the number 5. Comes from a really difficult race down at Gulfstream Park last time out. The winner came back to win. A Keeneland against non-winners of one. The 4th place finisher broke through for a maiden special weight race victory at Keeneland as well. I know that at Gulfstream he did not run very well, but since day one, the Mike DiPaolo barn has been extremely high on this horse and hasn't been able to deliver. The barn had an uncharacteristically poor couple of days at Woodbine on Saturday and Sunday, so that worries me a little bit. But the right guys aboard, that being Rafael Hernandez. And if you're looking for a bit of a wake-up prospect in here, what about Unbound Spirit, the number 4? Shows up as a first-time gelding, another horse that comes out of a pretty good race, although lost by 42 lengths in the process. But the 2nd and 10th place finishers will both come back to win. This one's run well in the past at Woodbine, too. So there are a couple of wake-up prospects. And then you've got Cassie with that first-time starter in the race. I don't know what to make of Waterkloof in this spot.
That was the horse that I was most intrigued with, just simply because maybe at face value the pedigree isn't tremendous, but the second dam was Be Gentle, and she was a multiple graded stakes winner. And I feel like you always have to respect Cassie. It's very dangerous. It's difficult debuting going past a mile, but Cassie has some very, very good numbers over the recent memory, past 4 years, since first-time starter in route races. 4 for 14 with a 417 ROI. You get Boulanger aboard. Again, it's very difficult doing that at first asking, but I guess that was sort of the wild card in there for me. But you brought up Silent Jet, that pedigree. Obviously, we know Sugar Swirl, what she was capable of, and he's a half to unbridled one.
And you know what's interesting? She started off her career as a route winner at Woodbine and then went on to win all those sprint races at Gulfstream Park, too. So very interesting pedigree on that one. And shows up as a second-time Lasix user. So I know that the Stronach horses, they wait as long as possible to go into Lasix. So I don't think we've seen the best as of yet with Silent Jet.
Always a fun race. Maybe not be a giant field, but we've got some interesting angles and some interesting pedigrees. Can go a few different ways. Jeff's going to go with Strike Me Down, but acknowledging that Silent Jet's a little intriguing as well as Unbounded Spirit. I'm going to take a shot with the first-time starter on the outside, Waterkloof, going out for Cassie and Boulanger in the 7th at Woodbine on Friday afternoon. Best of luck if you play the Woodbine play of the day.